everyone, welcome back to The 3 Show. We hope everyone had an awesome Thanksgiving, so let's start this week's episode by covering last week. Starting off in the Central, as the now second-place team in the division, the Power had themselves a weekend picking up 4 points in the standings after sweeping the first-place Cyclones. Both Game 1 and Game 2 performances were dominant by West Bend, as they only allowed 1 goal throughout the weekend, thanks to Star of the Week netminder Adam Prokop. The 0-4 goaltender is back with the Power after spending time with the NAHL Elmira Aviators and posted a 29-save shutout to kick things off for the 2024-2025 campaign and followed things up by making 24 out of 25 saves during Saturday's tilt. Switching things over to the East Division Showcase was a success as all 7 teams made an appearance on the campus of St. Anselm College. The biggest game was arguably the Binghamton and New Hampshire game, as the Buzz came away with a 7-4 victory thanks to their leading scorer in Ethan Miller, who scored a natural hat trick in addition to dishing out 1 assist, earning himself Star of the Week. It's worth noting that New Hampshire came back with vengeance as they hosted the Buzz on Tuesday morning and came out victorious, snapping their 3-game losing streak as 5 different players found the back of the net. In the Frontier, the second-place Hawks picked up 4 points in the standings after a weekend sweep over the Wild. Both games were higher-scoring affairs, as a total of 23 goals were scored over the course of the series. The Star of the Week and Star of the Offense for Sheridan was Josh Serino, who recorded 8 points, including 6 goals and 2 assists. As a top scorer for Sheridan and the 3rd leading scorer in the league, Serino also had his first weekend with back-to-back hat tricks, marking his 2nd consecutive weekend with a 3-goal performance. The Hawks now trail Helena by 4 points in the standings and have gone 8-2 in their last 10. Over in the South, the Ice Bats remain in the win column after picking up a pair of wins over the Roadrunners. Austin was definitely clicking offensively as they posted 14 goals over the series, the most goals they have scored in 2 games so far this season. During Friday's 5-1 win, 5 different players found the back of the net, while goaltender Gavin Morris had a fantastic game, making 30 of 31 saves for a save percentage of .968. Things kept on rolling on Saturday as Star of the Week Ashton Morin netted 1 goal on the man advantage and dished out 3 assists to aid his team to a 9-4 victory. Finishing things up in the West, the Moose remain hot, extending their win streak to 4 with a pair of wins over Granite City in addition to 1 win over Mason City. As the 6th-place team in the division, the Moose are starting to turn the page as they have defeated the 1st-place Lumberjacks in their last 3 consecutive meetings, proving the first win was no fluke. All 3 of their games last week were 1-goal contests and have been absolute battles. Netminder Dylan Posh has been the hero for the Moose as he stood tall between the pipes for all 3 games. Throughout the week, he was faced with a total of 114 shots, making 109 saves to keep his squad in the game and was named Star of the Week for his efforts. The schedule will be a little lighter this week due to the holiday weekend, but there's still plenty of action to cover, so let's jump on into things. Starting in the Central, the Power and Grizzlies will host a home-and-home series as West Bend will try to remain hot as they have the opportunity to jump into first place in the division. This all depends on not only the outcome of their games, but the results of Wausau's series with the Junior Blues. West Bend and Rochester have already faced off 4 times so far this season, as the Grizzlies have the Power's number, leading the series 3-1. With the addition of Adam Prokop, who we mentioned earlier, and the Power having an 8-1-1 record in their last 10, it will be interesting to see if West Bend can build off this momentum and take this weekend series. Moving on to the Frontier, the 2nd and 3rd place teams in the Hawks and Americans will battle things out in Great Falls, a huge series in terms of the standings. Right now, Sheridan sits just 3 points above Great Falls, meaning the Americans have the opportunity to jump into 2nd with a sweep in regulation. Similar to the last series we discussed, these 2 organizations have also faced off 4 times this season, each team picking up 2 wins apiece. Players to watch out for obviously include Cerrito for the Hawks and the Americans' leading scorer in Ty Obi, who had himself a 6-point weekend last weekend against Bozeman and Butte. Down in the South, after having last weekend off, the Ice Wolves will be back in action as they'll travel to El Paso to take on the Rhinos for a 3-game set. This series will be their 2nd of the season, the first one coming all the way back in late September. When taking a look back to the beginning of the year, New Mexico came away victorious during both contests as 8 different players scored during Game 1 for the Ice Wolves. The theme somewhat continued for Game 2 as 4 different players scored during their 5-1 victory, as Jake Wenner was the only Ice Wolf to score multiple goals. Wrapping things up in the West, tonight Alexandria will travel to Wilmer to take on the Warhawks for their 5th meeting of the year and the 2nd time this week. When taking a look at the first 4 games, the Blizzard won games 1 through 3 by decent margins, but the Warhawks took Alexandria by surprise as they took home a 3-2 overtime victory on Wednesday. With their last game being just 2 days ago, I'm sure tensions are running high and the Blizzard will be out to seek revenge. Will the Warhawks be able to build off of Wednesday's momentum, or will Alexandria break their 2-game losing streak? As always, thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of The 3 Show. Be sure to watch all of the action live on NATV for free this weekend and follow along the live scores on our website. We'll see you next week.